The NEMSU Extension Services. The Extension Services play one major function of the university in the delivery of its thrusts. Its services over the last 5 years have been based on SDSSU's Medium-Term Development Plan fiscal year 2015 to 2019, with a focus on poverty alleviation initiatives, food production, renewable energy development, and natural environmental conservation programs. The Extension Services of Tagbina Campus College of Teacher Education is not just an expression of its corporate social responsibility, but also of its core values: competence, accountability, responsiveness, excellence, and service. The CTE Extension Services entitle its faculty members to bring forward directly the social services to the likely in-need identified schools within the nearby communities. Since CTE in its two programs, Bsed and Bsed, are committed to provide quality training in their respective field of specialization, knowledge, skills, and value system responsive to the needs of the communities, productive activities relevant to their field of specialization, quality education through relevant instruction, research, and extension, and use of information and communication technology for teaching and lifelong learning. The two program coordinators and their respective faculty members agreed to share the same extension programs and projects to focus on strategic program and output number 4 of the University Extension Program, otherwise read as Literacy and Numeracy Progression Program NCDP 2021 to 2025. These extension services include the conduct of research offshoots, that is, class interventions, teaching strategies, teaching literacies and numeracies, particularly the reading and writing, which are deemed to bring benefits in terms of improved teaching and increased learning proficiencies that will help the present time in its call for the basic literacies. Extension programs and services for the Bachelor of Secondary Education and Bachelor of Elementary Education at College of Teacher Education are widely recognized as one of the most dependable and compelling evidence that the school supports educational equity and access. The programs are largely aimed at enhancing the community's capacities via literacy, numeracy, and skills training. Goals. These are the specific goals in the fourfold functions of the university as extracted from the SDSSU MTDP 2015 to 2019, page 8. KRA 1 Instruction. Develop highly competent, globally competitive, and morally upright graduates. KRA 2 Research. Produce research for the advancement of knowledge, new technology, and innovative approaches for competitive endeavors. KRA 3 Extension. Empower the rural poor to improve their lives through transfer of technologies and knowledge. KRA 4 Production. Sustain university operations through viable and profitable income-generating projects. Objectives. Along the key result area for Extension or KRA 3 of the university, to improve the lives of the rural and urban poor through transfer of technology and knowledge are the extension objectives as extracted from SDSSU MTDP 2015 to 2019, page 33. This indicates capacitating beneficiaries through knowledge and literacy skills as strategic objective number 3. In line with the VMGO of the university and the campus extension services, the College of Teacher Education drafted extension projects entitled the Evidence-Based Numeracy and Literacy Activity and projects Writing Intervention and Reading Enhancement and Writing Intervention, Numeracy Enhancement, and Reading and Science, which are all from CTA faculty members' research studies. The extension services of Tagbina Campus College of Teacher Education targeted the first strategic outputs and activities of the University Extension on Poverty Alleviation Program as it incorporates the strategic outputs numeracy and literacy. Again, MTDP 2021 to 2025 of the university states of the transfer of technology and knowledge to improve the lives of the rural and urban poor. The CT extension activities answer the strategic program and output 4, otherwise known Literacy and Numeracy Progression Program. Organizational structure. The NEMSU Tagbina campus is manned with competent and dynamic campus administrator, extension coordinators, and faculty who ensure that the target extension projects are properly implemented. CTE Organizational Structure of Extension Service. The organizational structure of the College Extension Services for the College of Teacher Education Program is composed of the College Extension Coordinator, The core faculty, the affiliate faculty, and students are supervised by the campus extension head, who coordinates directly with the assistant campus director, who in return is under coordination to campus director. The college extension coordinators manages the planning, implementation, evaluation, and monitoring of the program extension projects. They work with the faculty members of the college and coordinate activities with the head of extension services. They also submit periodic reports and publications of the office of the head of extension services. The faculty members of the CTE program formulate and implement extension projects and activities upon the approval of the higher authorities. The faculty members monitor and evaluate the projects and submit accomplishments and activities reports to the college extension coordinator. Students' involvement in the extension projects is not only to help facilitate during workshops and evaluations of the activities, but students likewise serve as speakers and trainers. In this manner, students are prepared for corporate social responsibility. Adequate and relevant projects and activities to achieve the objectives. The extension services of the College of Teacher Education, to name, are the evidence-based numeracy and literacy activity and projects, writing intervention and reading enhancement, and writing intervention and numeracy and enhancement in reading and science, which are all from CTE faculty members' research studies. These projects were thoroughly thought of and developed in accordance with the university's extension services objectives, as well as the program's strategic objectives as approved by the BOT resolution. In keeping with the university's commitment to collaborate with government and non-government agencies to help marginalized groups improve their lives, and the CTE program goals in particular. The CTE extension programs, as described above, are believed to target appropriately and sustainably the enumerated program goals. The literacy and numeracy and other CTE extension projects and services brought positive impacts to the lives of the pupil beneficiaries, enhanced also their basic education skills as revealed by their respective academic records of promotion and periodic evaluation. The Writing Intervention and Reading Enhancement Project at Barubi National High School was another offshoot of the study My Ate, My Kuya by Professor Janviel V. Rosal, and the error analysis in journalistic articles by Professor Lloyd C. Hunahunan. The intervention activities were to respond to the mandate of RA 7079, which is on the effective delivery of campus journalism and the alarming rate of poor reading comprehension among first-year students as gleaned from the oral reading proficiency test. Thus, the teaching innovation My Ate, My Kuya. The project began in July 2018 and concluded in March 2020. Information dissemination on extension programs and services, and consultative meeting with the school principal, teachers, and students. Allowed the CTE extensionists to lay on the table the thrusts and programs of SDSSU Tagbina campus and exchange ideas with a possible partner deputy school heads and teachers for possible arrangements and schedules. Training workshops for school paper writers program was done to respond to the special intervention request from Barubi National High School for the journalistic writing expertise of the CTE faculty members led by Dr. Lloyd C. Hunahunan, who workshopped the school's writers on topics of the news writing, editorial writing, and feature writing on July 5, 2019 with 101 total number of participants. My Kuya, My Ate, My Mentor reading program is basically from the previous study made by Professor Janviel V. Rosal, targeted to help improve the reading comprehension of the beneficiaries. The PhilRRI latest results were utilized as basis of the intervention. The activity included CTA faculty members to supervise the extension activities and at least 40 students. The Writing Intervention and Reading Enhancement Project at Barubi National High School was another offshoot of the study My Ate, My Kuya by Professor Janviel V. Rosal, and the error analysis in journalistic articles by Professor Lloyd C. Hunahunan. The activities are somehow limited with the COVID-19 pandemic, though from time to time, CTE students are arranged to facilitate the Brigada Pabasa upon request of the reading coordinators and partner schools.
The third quarter 2018, NEMSO started adopting standards or quality procedures in accordance with ISO 9001-2015. Tagvina campus likewise started to use the same. 3 highly relevant procedures to extension included funding allocation of extension services and linkages activities for Special Trust Fund, funding allocation of extension services and linkages for General Appropriations Act, monitoring and evaluation of the funded extension projects, studies, or activities. The procedures became the standard protocol in extension program implementation since the second semester of academic year 2018 to 2019. Prior to the creation and approval of these quality procedures, the extension manual served as a guide on the different processes that concern the implementation of NEMSA extension and community involvement activities. For the documentation of the extension programs, the campus utilized the following QMS forms: funding allocation of extension and services and linkages activities for Special Trust Fund, funding allocation of extension services and linkages for General Appropriations Act, monitoring and evaluation of the funded extension projects, studies, activities, or other requests. All research and extension projects shall then be properly reviewed and endorsed by the Extension Services and Linkages Head to the Budget Officer through Extension Services and Linkages Director for budget allocation. Prior to implementation, this phase comprises the conceptualization of the target extension project, as well as the planning and creation of an extension proposal with College of Teacher Education faculty and beneficiaries. The address your requesting school, where school principal sends a communication letter to the College of Teacher Education, requesting help with extension services. The college faculty assessed the recipient school's training needs and pulled one of the available CTE faculty members' research studies to best fit and utilize them to cater to the needs of the requesting school. After the appropriate research has been identified, the findings and results are presented to the partner school, the extension program head for conceptualization and drafting of the memorandum of agreement or understanding, which both parties can comment on and suggest. Following several plans, a research-based extension proposal was developed. For a systematic and effective procedure and implementation of extension programs, the following steps are followed. The signing of the approved Memorandum of Agreement or Understanding and orientation to the extension project kicked off the beginning of the extension projects. Following then, a series of extension initiatives was implemented. After each activity session, standard assessment sheets were used to conduct evaluations. Monitoring forms were sent to the Office of Extension Services on a regular basis. After that, an impact analysis was carried out to assess and evaluate issues that arose throughout the implementation. The study's findings were later used to determine whether the extension project should be terminated or continued. The program's faculty extensionists organized a replanning activity with the beneficiaries to discuss the activity's outcomes as well as any areas that could be improved. Impact studies and evaluation of the activity's results and analysis largely determine the continuity of the city extension programs and projects.
The college's extension services were carried out and linkages were established successfully by working hand-in-hand with the administration and its financial personnel. Funds to implement the extension services were appropriated through Special Trust Fund and General Appropriations Act. Thus, the College of Teacher Education got sufficient funding to carry out the complete extension project. For the year 2018, SDSU Tagbina campus was allotted with 10,138,800 pesos. For instruction, 50%, research services, 10%, extension services, 10%, production services, 10%, administration, 10%, and mandatory reserve, 10%. For the year 2019, SDSU Tagbina campus was allotted with 18,907,458 pesos. For instruction, 50%, research services, 10%, extension services, 10%, production services, 10%, administration, 10%, and mandatory reserve, 10%. In 2020, SDSU Tagbina campus was allotted with 27,173,631.63 pesos. For instruction, 50%, research services, 10%, extension services, 10%, production services, 10%, administration, 10%, and mandatory reserve, 10%. For 2021, SDSU Tagbina campus was allotted with 27,376,644.90 pesos. For instruction, 50%, research services, 10%, extension services, 10%, production services, 10%, administration, 10%, and mandatory reserve, 10%. These funds were subsequently distributed among the college's many programs in proportion to the number of students enrolled in each. Clearly, the extension services budget for the previous fiscal years was sufficient and enough. Literacy and numeracy, an extension-based extension activity. Writing Intervention and Reading Enhancement Project. Writing Intervention, Numeracy, and Enhancement in Reading and Science Program.
Human Resources. Proponents of various extension programs that act as human resources. For literacy and numeracy, an extension-based extension activity. For writing intervention and reading enhancement project. For writing intervention, numeracy, and enhancement in reading and science program. Physical resources. Physical resources were also made available to aid in the implementation of the initiative. The Memorandum of Agreement signed by representatives from the College of Teacher Education and the three partner schools, Manambia Integrated School, Barabon National High School, and Tagbiana Central Elementary School, provided statements allowing the city extensionists the necessary spaces needed to carry out the activities in the respective school when the project started. Supplies and materials. The supplies and materials for the extension activities. Teaching and reading materials pulled from a teacher sponsor in New Mexico, USA, were likewise provided to scaffold learning.
The extension projects are primarily intended to address the students' existing literacy and numeracy issues at the recipient school. Care for the community is perpetuated not only through visions, but also by selfless participation of the College of Teacher Education's teachers, staff, and students who aspire to offer their abilities and expertise in instilling educational ideals and practices in the community. Extension projects with faculty and students involved. The three main extension programs included a variety of training and activities for the recipients to use in their communities and everyday lives. Distinguished individuals are active in the transfer of skills and information. CTE extension services conducted before COVID-19 pandemic. CTE extension services conducted during the COVID-19 pandemic. After the approval of the extension project proposals by the Office of the Campus Director and Budget Office, the administration serves as consultants and speakers for some of the extension activities. They also provide a fast and expedient transaction for the convenience of the faculty conducting extension activities. Thus, strong administrative support is visible. The College of Teacher Education's core faculty and students are the principal proponents of the extension initiatives. Their knowledge in the field of specialization is utilized in the formulation and implementation of such projects. They serve as primary resource speakers and skill trainers. They also assess and evaluate the flow and outcome of every activity and the projects as a whole to gauge the success of the implementation. In the extension program, the beneficiaries play a vital role. They take part in the activities as both participants and beneficiaries. They also assess the efficacy, timeliness, and usefulness of the extension activity. The project's major success indicator is their enhanced comprehension and writing abilities. Extension initiatives are carried out in close collaboration with participating institutions such as Manambia Integrated School,
Tagbiana Central Elementary School, Barabon National High School.
They assist with technical issues that arise during the execution of extension activities. The College of Teacher Extension Services catered and responded to needs analysis and needs of the stakeholders, particularly the partner schools nearby. The faculty members of CTE Tagbiana have been recognized as exceptional extensionists.
Best practices. The extension services of the College of Teacher Education to name literacy and numeracy, an evidence-based extension activity, writing intervention and reading enhancement project, and the most recent writing intervention, numeracy, and enhancement in reading and science program are all research-based and impact evaluation studies were conducted to end every extension activity. Literacy and numeracy. An evidence-based extension activity was sustained for 3 years to get remarkable impact evaluation results. During its first 2 years of undertakings proceeded with the city faculty members' voluntary contributions for transportations of student and faculty extensionists, snacks, and giveaways for beneficiary pupils and students, while reading materials distributed to beneficiary pupils and learners were sourced out from New Mexico, USA. The last or third year activities were already funded. Writing intervention and reading enhancement project was sustained for 3 years. Impact evaluation was in order. The project gained recognition as activities responded positively to the call of stakeholders. the secondary and elementary schools nearby to capacitate the journalistic skills of campus journalism writers and enhance the reading comprehension of pupils and students. Writing intervention, numeracy, and enhancement in reading and science program is the most recent and is still ongoing extension activities of the College of Teacher Education. This project is a result of the impact evaluation of the writing intervention, numeracy, and enhancement in reading and science, and is expected to sustain another 3 years.
Last year, 2016 to 2019, the Surigao del Sur State University, Tagbina Campus, College of Teacher Education, now Northeastern Mindanao State University, conducted literacy and numeracy program here in our school, the Gambia Integrated School, Gambia, Tagbina Surigao del Sur. This program aims to help increase the numeracy and literacy level of our school, thus helping the school as well as the teachers to keep learners in the school every day because of the snacks offered and supplies given to the students by the NIMSU Tagbina Campus to our school children. In this case, for the period of 3 years, not only literacy and numeracy level was corrected and increased, but also the 100% participation rate to the school. As the school administrator, I find it useful.
Extension activity from the NEMSO Tagbina CTE has conducted a literacy and numeracy learnings to the students. Literacy because they teach us students to enhance more our skills in writing and reading, and numeracy because they give us additional activities for us to learn more. I like the extension activity that the NEMSO Tagbina CTE conducted. As I remember, their activity has started when I was in grade 8 and ended when I graduated in grade 10. For me, as a student, their activity helped me to learn more and broaden our knowledge on every topic that they have been discussed. The 3 things that I learned from the activity that they conducted is that, of course, you should be willing to learn, you have to participate and cooperate to their activities. The NEMSO Tagbina CTE improved and helped us to broaden our knowledge and learnings. They help us to understand the topics that we didn't really understand from our subjects. And with the help of them, everything has successfully done.
The project WAR, or the Writing Intervention and Reading Enhancement, was the activity conducted by the Surigao del Sur State University, now the Northeastern Mindanao State University. Indeed, we are so grateful that the activity was conducted by the students here, the SSU and NEMSU, because it really helped a lot to our struggling learners, especially those who are in the frustration level. In fact, that activity started on March 5 and ended in March 5 of 2019 and ended in March 28 of 2020. So, as the school principal, again, I would like to convey gratitude because it has been very thoughtful. In fact, during the time, the learners who were classified under the frustration level was 83.92%. And at the end of the intervention activity, it was already 62.25%, I mean. And now, after 3 years, we are so glad to let you know that only 4.35% remain to be in the frustration level. So with that, I hope that the partnership will continue and that we will be working more for the greater benefit of our learners.
I'm Genevieve Pareja, Barugo National High School Reading Coordinator. We are glad that we are the recipient of Project WAR conducted by Northeastern Mindanao University, former SDSSU, and Project WAR is Writing Intervention, Reading Enhancement. College of Teachers Education come to our school to conduct one-on-one tutorial to our learners. Extension activity conducted from the NEMSU Project Choir is an answered prayer to our learners' needs, especially that has a difficulty in reading, word recognition, and comprehension, and also in writing. They call the CTE students as their Ati and Kuya. The project started March 5, 2019, and it ends with a culmination program that was March 28, 2019, with the presence of the administrators and students. It is very helpful because as reading coordinator, it helps our learners to become more independent reader. Independent readers say reading with comprehension. Because of that, learners are more participative. They develop their independence in participating during the discussions and activity in our class. Things that remembered or learned from the activity conducted are first is Project Choir is like pinadala ni God to solve or to help us, to help our learners in reading. Secondly is it is an answered prayer to help us to help our learners that has difficulty in reading. Thirdly is we are hoping that the Project Choir has another season, will not stop or still continue. And BHS Barugo National High School is the recipient of Project Choir.
Ako si Joya Casaot, 16 years old. Nakatira po ako sa Javier, Barugo sa Igado Sur at nag-aaral po ako sa Barugo National High School. May naging tulong po to sa amin na mabuti ang pagbabasa namin. Ganun ito noong March 2019. Mas lalo po akong natutong magbasa.
At the mid of the school year 2019-2020, one of our stakeholders, SDSSU, now NEMSU, introduced to us the reading program that caters our grades 1 to 3 frustration reading level learners. The reading program was implemented by their select first year and second year students with a 1:1 reading process. The extended reading program is really a great help in our school that I, as an administrator, was so grateful because the reading performance of the SID Select learners was improved. 50% of the learners under the reading program become instructional level, as shown in the result of our conducted post-reading test. From this program, lots of things we learned. That linkage to stakeholders is one of the important activity for the better performance of our learners, not only for the reading program, but also to other academic and physical aspects. Reading progress of the learners depends on the strategy that the school and the teachers should make it. Reading facilitator at home and in school with the assistance of our stakeholders plays a vital role in order to uphold the reading performance of our learners. Amidst this pandemic time, we hope that the reading program of NEMSU will continue their assistance to our current and future learners with the improved reading program strategy. Our great honor and salute and gratitude is highly granted to the NEMSU administration.
It is an honor for Tagbiña Central Elementary School to be part of the extension services conducted by the Northeastern Mindanao State University College of Teacher Education.
In fact, we are blessed for we are adopted since 2019 to 2020 for their extension services. And for this school year, we signed a memorandum of agreement on their project Weiner during the Brigada Pabasa orientation last year. The extension services they offered were of great help to the school, to the teachers, as well as to the learners. Thus, it plays part of our school project banner, Project Blessed, which is Better Life Education in a Smart School, in which underneath that is our continuous improvement, the Project Child Friendly Hub to address reading miscues, in which Project Weiner of NEMSO is our partner in facilitating the process. Apart from the Project Charm, we also have our intervention, My Kin, My Body, which is again assisted by the NEMSO CTA on their Project Weiner. It specifically assists teachers in the intervention process in reading, particularly in K-Stage 1 and K-Stage 2. Actually, both project is a one-on-one reading session with the aid of their learning facilitator and student volunteer. An assessment was done every end of the quarter, and it focuses on learners' performance in reading and comprehension. It would be of great help if NEMSO CTA will sustain their assistance to our school to assist teachers in conducting the implementation, for it will aid teachers to lessen their drudgery work both in teaching and paperworks, and facilitates or assists learners in their academic performances. In behalf of Tagbinan Central Elementary School teacher recipient of your extension activities, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude for choosing our school to be part of your projects. Indeed, it was a productive and beneficial extension activities. Once again, thank you so much, and we are looking forward for more cooperation.
Hi, my name is Agnelia Divina Braja. I am grade 3 people at the Central Elementary School. I am so blessed and thankful of NEMSO Tagbinan City for rendering with us their time and effort to teach us on how to write and understand the story. I really the activity was enjoyable at the same time, full of learning and thinking.